well, VLG. So you can
I was thinking put an extension on the desktop and then run it from there, and that way they've got the address and they just need to enter the credentials.
Yeah. Guys, I just need to quickly. Gemma, I just need to turn your moderator on. It was on, but I'm now turning it on.
Oh, right.
Because we're not ready yet.
Yes.
We don't have things, so I just want this conversation.
Well, that's the thing, whether we split each of them. Did you say anything?
We've done this before, we're honest.
By the way, just so you all know, that's what we are doing. We are giving the products. We are giving the clinical brain disease about the bees. And what we done with that is so everybody knows that they develop themselves from the desktop, so mobile, so they build it for Android. That's what we do. And if they do, then they are eligible to our price. So we can also not only from the first charge.
So how many tablets do you need to win?
5 Kindle tablets.
And those tablets are ours, no, they will be the
In return for the next workshop, which would be the one we are in September.
something like this.
Hi guys.
Hi, sorry. No problem. I know that you're right, guys.
This is
Yes.
Okay, can you make a bookmark of that and drag the bookmark to the desktop and then copy the desktop shortcut to the USB and put it on the machines?
What I'll probably have to do, Dimitri, is email it to you because this isn't on the same network.
This is what?
This isn't on the same network.
Okay.
So click. Or he can also do the click.
Oh yeah,
Next
yeah.
time.
So like Gemma. I still do that. This year there are a lot of more students than last year.
And in there because there's more students. There's 34 universities. I know why, because we have the broadcasting system. Each time we have the broadcasting system, it shows that it wants to go to Windows Basic. I guess because it uses a lot of resources. Our presentation is being broadcast.
Yeah. We're just waiting, aren't we, still? Actually, do I need to go into the other room just to make sure
Dave, how did you get this aircon?
Yeah, maybe school open the window.
Joe, you forget who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Is that NXTV? Yeah, good. Yeah, because I can see here. Yes, yes, the full. Yeah, we have really worked. Yeah, because that's very interesting. And now I know that you are like, because I was thinking, who is this? By the way, on the call there was also.
It's still in its beta stage at the moment.
Can we start?
Yeah, go on. There'll be something. How would you structure that?
We wanted to first be online and then this, and then it's like all revealed. But just this for
Say something?
Say something. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's a mic in here. It's my voice, right?
Is the mic on?
Yeah.
It is.
It's on the streaming, right? Because maybe this one is the one that streams.
Yeah, it is.
And might not be the same. I don't know. So it's streaming, but there's no connection with it. Why do you want that? In order amplifier. But that's okay. We can talk louder then. So it's for the streaming and not for the. I mean, you can get everything.
No.
Yeah, I think that's. I have a funny feeling that these microphones aren't being picked up. There's a microphone on here that's been these aren't working. It hasn't detected this. But I can hear you. And I can hear everybody else as well. So
that means that actually it's picking up my mic rather than, so we need to be not too far.
We're not too far.
So this is actually
I don't think so. It will be on Roberto's laptop.
Right.
It'll be a different story on that because this is a drone. So it's there's just a microphone. It's a multi-function port. It's bloody Windows.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Maybe then we go with it. Okay, we need to start because it's a long.
Right.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Programmers Workshop organized by ARM. So I'm going to give first an ARM introduction and then we'll have my colleagues here explaining you how advanced rendering techniques that you can implement in Unity and using one of the projects that you already have on your laptop. And before we get started, I wanted to have to ask you guys who knows about ARM, who is familiar with ARM technology? That's like 10%? Well, tutors don't count, sorry. Okay, so we have some work to do today. All right, so I'm going to go through then the ARM technology and then the developer resources we have for gamers such as you. So what's ARM technology? The core technology from ARM is processor IP architecture. So we designed the architecture of RISC processors, reduced instruction set architecture processors. And what this architecture has in common is it is designed for low power. So you can see that on a phone, you don't have a big battery with a fan like a desktop, because this architecture enables that. It occupies very small area and is very low cost. That's why mobile phones are, well, not now really, compared to a desktop. Anyway, the architecture itself, yes, the processor architecture. All right, but and therefore on your side, you will find the architecture from ARM on a phone. You know, if you open the phone, you will see this sort of motherboard PC-like, but on a phone. That's very cool. You can try and check at home. So the main apps processor is the one that you are interested in. Has the ARM CPU, which is called Cortex architecture, and the ARM GPU is the ARM Mali naming. But you have our processor architecture not only on the apps processor, you also have it on all of these other devices. So any microcontroller that has a processor has ARM architecture, can be from ARM architecture. And there's the touch screens, there's the processor running the Bluetooth protocol stack, Wi-Fi, flash controller, you name it. So you have a lot of ARM architecture within a small device. And ARM CPUs, so the Cortex actually, before moving in here, the Cortex architecture, you have it in, now we call it actually 85% of mobile devices, which includes also laptops. Before we were commenting on mobile phones and tablets, and that was 95%. So ARM architecture is predominant on the mobile space. And for the ARM Mali GPUs, the graphics processors, we are also the world's first shipping graphics processors. And here you have the market share. So more than 50% of the tablets, more than 40% of the smartphones. So if I were you as a game designer, having a reference platform with ARM Mali GPUs is a good start to make sure that your games run on the most common used architecture for GPUs. And here I wanted to show you that actually the computing power of mobile devices follows Moore's law. This purple line is the computing capabilities of mobile, and you can see that every 2 years, like Moore's law, they say every 2 years in the same area space you can have the double quantity of processors. So every 2 years you have also the double amount of computing power. And at the moment we are 2016, right? So we are here. So the computing capabilities are better already than the last generation consoles. So on mobile you can achieve console quality games on mobile platforms. The computing power is there, and we are going to take the computing power of Xbox One and PS4 in the next year or two. All right. There is another thing, though, that you need to bear in mind, that computing power, follows Moore's law, but the bandwidth doesn't follow Moore's law. Unfortunately, the battery technology takes a different route. And for here, you need to code smartly. And that's why our team here, Sylvester and Roberto, will teach you several techniques that are optimized in order to use very efficiently all the resources and not to use power. Because you want to play games for a long time and you want to play high quality games. And actually here I put some figures so you really can think about it. 170 watts to 300 watts a desktop compared to a mobile platform, 3 to 7 watts, such a big difference. Be mindful. You need to be green when coding games for mobile. And other things, we also have the Enlighten technology at ARM. So it's a dynamic global illumination technology, and it computes only the location of a static geometry in the scene, and everything else is computed dynamically at runtime. And actually, you can see this technology on all these leading titles. Are pretty cool titles that your artist will love. Well, and anyone would love, sorry. All right, and developer resources that we have the ARM guide for Unity developers. So if you want to optimize your games and the tips and hints that you need to know, we have documented all of these things here: CPU, GPU, and assets optimizations, advanced rendering techniques that Sylvester will cover, and project files that Roberto will cover, and also explaining this Unity guide, global illumination, VR, how to profile and debug, etc. And it's for all audiences. There's stuff for beginners to advanced. So we welcome you to just download it. And this project that today you have is already available on the Unity Asset Store and is free to download. So you have it on your computers today, but yes, just so you know, you Google it and you can download it. And you can get all the assets. Maybe you can use those assets this weekend. Other resources that we have at ARM is the ARM University Program Education Kit. And in here we have hardware that we provide to the university, so tablets. We also provide the software and the teaching materials, lecture notes. And the good cool thing is that we are starting a graphics and gaming education kit from next year. So yeah, watch the space, and that's actually a bit the syllabus that this will include: the graphics fundamentals, introducing ARMally, how to code for OpenGLES, and finally using a game engine. And we have a myriad of software tools that you can download for free on Mali Developer Center on our website: graphics debugger, offline compiler, emulator, texture. And we have all the documentation as well that we were talking today. And now, if you have any questions before that, for Brains Eden, you know that ARM will sponsor the mobile prize. So we hope that all of you guys, after the workshop today, you will know how to build it for Android games, and that you can show on Monday to the judges a game running on Android, and we can qualify you for our prize. Any questions, anyone? All right, so then move on to Sylvester.
So do I need to have this one or not?
No, if you just speak like
It's switched off by
yeah. Okay. Just take it off.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you just need to put this on.
Sure.
I think you are already molded enough by Gemma about ARM technology. I'm Sylvester. I've been working for the industry, real-time graphics, if you can call it like that, for about 15 years. Before I joined ARM, I've been working on engine, writing this basically from scratch. It took about 8 years, and the guys still are working on this engine, so it's a really long project. So if you ever think about writing your own engine, think about it, how long it's gonna take. So it's better to use Unity or Unreal. And it wasn't just only me. There were, I think, 4 or 5 people working on the engine. 5 years ago, I joined ARM. from various reasons, I really wanted to explore new opportunities in the real-time graphics. Because in the past the engine was basically designated for desktops and consoles, also high-end platforms. But I recognize that the mobile industry is just ramping up very quickly, and the capability of mobile devices are really cool, and you can achieve a lot of visual effects, and also reach out quite a big audience. So that is why I'm doing ARM. So what I'm doing in ARM, with Roberto and the team, we try to showcase our technology, CPU, GPU, in the best light. I mean the features, what is actually possible, what you can achieve. And this is what Gemma introduced about the chess room and the shadows. This is actually the technique we innovated in ARM and give it for you for free, basically, just so you can use in your games or whatever content you are going to create. And we also create demos, various different demos you can find online. The last one is iScape, and this is actually what I'm going to cover in this presentation. I've got privilege to work on this project, and there was, I think, at some point in time, there were about 20 people working collectively on the project. It was quite a big one. But we had to discover what is really possible and what you can achieve in Unity. So we didn't go down the route of just classic and standard shaders. We really wanted to dive very deeply into the shaders, to the GPU and the CPU side, and see what is possible. So briefly give you the idea what the iScape project is about, and then I'll go very quickly through the composition, how the selected frame is composited, what kind of draw codes you need to execute. And in the end, the optimized techniques, what you really need to just care about optimization. Actually, the last slide is the most interesting, at least for me. And then, you will have the room for questions and answers. So the video, first of all. This one, sorry.
An abandoned cave, home to an ancient lunar calendar, used at one point in time as a site for celebration.
Probably guys in the other room can hear the sound.
Climb the mountain,
The sound
to
in
the
here.
glacier cave.
So I can hear the sound.
Rotate the statues of the zodiac animals
this one.
around the calendar board.
That's fine.
No one
I can hear it.
For thousands of years, but the spirit of the
So only the people who stream can hear it. So the sound right there.
But the graphics.
Could we just perhaps have another sound output or something, because it's quite amazing. Yeah, much better. And that's the projector theory. I'm watching.
You can watch this video on the YouTube, so it's awesome. Gemma, your laptop is very slow.
No, you know what is not slow? I think it's the streaming.
It is streaming.
I believe it's the streaming.
Yesterday was playing fine.
I think internet is slow.
they are already divided.